as tight as possible and certainly not to go over time because we want to get everybody into the debate. Kathleen Lynch, responsibility for disability, older people, equality and mental health, proposing motion 129.
And just in case you missed part of it, Cork North Central. Fellow delegates, party leader and indeed party chairman, could I start by saying that one of the other areas I'm responsible for is disability, and that's a significant part of the responsibility I hold. The very first, and I'm here to propose motion 129 from the Central Council in relation to disability. The very first conference I attended as Minister, and it seems hard to believe that it was just a year ago, and I think we should keep reminding ourselves of that as delegates here today. The very first conference I attended was Inclusion Ireland. And Inclusion Ireland, to me, are what is best about disability and the service that's presented to people who happen to have a disability in this country. And I had an in to Inclusion Ireland for the simple reason that Jean Spain, and I'm trying desperately not to look at her, who is here today as a delegate and who also worked for the Labour Party for many years. While we were in opposition, we didn't waste her time. Into my ear continuously, she spoke to me not about the physical aspects of disability, but about the dignity, the respect, the possibilities of people with disabilities. And it was that, if you like, global picture that she painted which formed my thinking in relation to disability. And at that very first conference, I was asked a very simple question. So what are your priorities in disability? And off the top of my head, because I had been listening to Jean for so long, well, I said, first we'll have to have the mental capacity bill. Then I said we'll have to have standards, which will be inspected by HICWA. And thirdly, I said, we are going to have a personalised budget system. And in this very short period of time, we are about to publish the Value for Money review, which will give us the information we need in order to put in place a personalised budgeting system. The mental capacity bill will be published at the end of this month, and HICWA standards in relation to institutions, and not just institutions, but also the community-based service that is being provided, will in fact be in place by this time next year. And I think that's an achievement that we should be very proud of. When I speak to people who have a disability, and they go right across a range, and again talking this morning when I spoke about older people and the equality piece, as we age, we will acquire a disability. Whether it's just those of us who have to continuously put our hair behind our ears so as we can hear properly, or our sight, or a little stumble, a hip replacement, a knee replacement. We will acquire a disability. It's how we deal with that and how we allow society to include us in that will be what's important. We are going to, I suppose, fundamentally change how we deal with people with disabilities. When we talk about personalised budgets, and I think at this point we really have to say to people who have provided a service down through the decades, that we could not have done it without you, and will be eternally grateful, because when the state did not provide a service, those service providers did. But it's a different time. It is a different time, and it's a time of change.
Kathleen, please conclude.
Thank you very much. It is a time of change, and the service providers know that as well, and they are engaged and they want to change, and we want to put the person with the disability at the centre of what we do. What do you want to do rather than what are we prepared to offer you? Maybe they don't want to go to a day centre. I keep saying maybe they want to go for a little scoot around the park. Maybe they want to go to a rugby match. Maybe they want to go to the pub like the rest of us. And that's the choices we should be offering to people. One guy from Independent Living said to me one time, I'm not sick. I am not sick. When I am sick, I will go to my GP and hopefully it'll be free at the end of this term. When I'm sick, I will go to my GP, and if I'm very sick, he'll put me into hospital. People with disabilities want to live in the same space as the rest of us. That is our job.